different programmatic opportunities that we've talked to the Optimist Club about. As far as new program introductions or tweaks that we could make to the program. We're not at the stage where we've committed to any of those as of yet, and that would be the purpose of entering into the development of an operating pro forma so that we could put some hard numbers on that and really talk about what the expectations are of the Optimist Club for programming the centre as well as the municipality as a partner.
Good. Any other questions? Councillor Russell?
Through you to Brian. How are you, Brian? Thanks for coming, all of you, by the way. Brian, you know, your presentation to us originally, right? And obviously, trying to set it through the paper that you got this contract. We haven't talked to you since, right? Obviously, we haven't.
Right.
So how does this fit your planning as the Optimist in terms of what they're bringing forth?
It appears to be an ideal partnership. We have yet to vote and discuss the memorandum of understanding in great detail, but on the surface, it suits our needs perfectly. So.
Okay, there was discussion earlier. You were probably listening that it was premature.
Yes, I did understand that.
Do you see? Are you still in a premature state in terms of where you're at? Because you were the one who originally asked, right? And one of the things we talked about our delivery of services around this table in the last couple of years. But you had said you got to that point where, generally speaking, you need right?
Right.
If I remember correctly, it was mostly administrative help. Am I correct in my memory?
Programming,
yes.
Administrative, and
yes.
some. Yeah, I think we had said minimal hours of commitment through the municipality.
Right.
Now through the YMCA partnership as described here, I think it really suits all the needs, and I believe it relieves the municipality from what we were asking for originally, as far as that administrative piece goes. The YMCA would assume a lot of that work.
So the further that going back to what we talked about was you were having a hard time administering, right? Isn't that the argument at that point in time? You had lots of volunteers, you said, right?
Through staff and administration.
Yeah, that's. So this meets the needs plus. Is that what you're saying?
We're satisfied, and we have yet to go through, like I said, the details of it. But I think we need to hear from the municipality that there's a commitment there also before we want to move forward. So it's sort of a three-way street that everyone has to agree before anybody's going to study it in detail.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we've heard and we've read the understanding, but we want to know what the municipality thinks about it.
Thank you.
Councillor Scott first.
Through you to Brian. Brian, how much, like, up in the past, you've had your own program person, you've paid a bit of rent to the municipality for the building, and you ran your own programs, right? Or your coordinator has.
Right.
How much money is the Optimist still willing to put into this? In it? I mean, the request in here basically is we'll lose the $1,500 rent by having this group come in, and then they wanted another $3,000 for shared services allocation. So what does it cost to run this group thing all together in a financial sense? And how much will the Optimist still be providing?
Well, our portion of the agreement is up to $10,000 is what we're willing to contribute to the program.
Is that what you used, like, is that what it cost you before to do with the, like, is that the set fee sort of that you did year to year on a normal basis?
It varies depending on the program and the year and the staff. Most importantly is how many staff members we have, which is most of the cost. So we've operated primarily through grants in the past, which we will still continue to do, as well as our own fundraising. But that amount is something we thought we could live with and fund adequately through our fundraising events and grants. So we're willing to commit to up to that amount. With similar programming and enhanced, greatly enhanced from what we've done previously.
Is your expectation that the programs you ran in the past will still be the same, or like you're saying enhanced? So they'll bring their programs in and replace yours? Like,
Yeah, what we have identified in the past is lack of good promotion.
Yes.
And
well,
the YMCA can solve that problem in spades, so that, I think that in itself will change the dynamic, and I think the center's attendance will go up dramatically, or at least the awareness of the center, so that's been a bit of a gap in the past where the public wasn't generally aware of what programs were being offered there, so.
You don't have a huge space there. I mean, I've been inside your room. What happens if, say, you wanted to do volleyball, or you wanted to do baseball, or whatever the outside programs are? Are you guys going to bus people's places, or car them, or remove them? Like, how would you handle that sort of thing?
So in the past, that's been a lot of our focus. Certainly, the summer program is sort of a separate entity, but the rest of the year we concentrate on sporting events through partnership with the Grand Bend School facility. So all of our events were at the school or outdoors. So I don't think that that's an issue.
Councillor Elman?
Just a couple of questions. I guess I'll start first with you, Brian. Just to clarify, you're sitting in the same situation as we are. You've got the draft memorandum of understanding, right? And you're going to take that back to your club, and you're very positive about what you've seen there. Okay.
Yep.
And it does meet, it certainly meets your needs, the partnership. And we're in the same situation. We're sitting with a draft document that if it is signed by both parties, it still is not committing us to that final document that you're going to bring back to us at some future date. And approximately what kind of timeline, I guess, Sean and Kathy are.
We talked about timeline, ideally for us to be, we talked about transitioning for September, recognize the optimism to be already well on its way for day camping in the summer, but talked about transitioning in September. And for us all to do that adequately and set up a proper program, market that appropriately, we'd like to have the final document signed in June.
Okay, so that if we were to sign something, then you would be coming back
Yeah.
for approval.
Yes.
In
As
June.
Sean's indicated, it just tells us that all the parties around the table in principle agree, and it's worth for us to put the additional time in building on that model and coming back with an additional proposal for you to review at that time.
And just a couple of other questions. The loss to us, of course, would be the $1,500 that we receive as a lease, and then the $3,000 that would be in addition to the current contract that we do have for Y services. Can you explain a little bit about what that entails, that $3,000 and what those services, what the Y brings as part of those dollars?
I think, when you walk into a Y program or a Y operation, you're really dealing directly with those that are leading program. We try and take all of the administrative expense and centralize it, all of the administrative function. So we've centralized our IT, for example. So registration, you can now register through our online portal over the web for your kids' day camp program for the summer. So that's one of the benefits that we bring to the table. We have an existing membership model, an existing revenue model that we bring to our partners, and database systems for tracking and administering them. We also do the HR side of things. So all employees of the center would be, YMCA employees, would be covered by our HR risk, and payroll, training, all of those sorts of things would be administered by us. Marketing and communications is also a centralized function that we bring forward, including social media, and general oversight, quality control. Kathy's role as Senior VP Operations, quality control is central to what she does throughout the region, ensuring that each of the centers are delivering upon the YMCA's commitment to quality to our members and participants. And that quality is measured nationally through a national quality assurance program. And it's done through a number of different ways, but Kathy's the one that kind of quarterbacks that for our associations across Western Ontario. So that's a highlight. There's a whole bunch of big and small things that we do. Ideally, our association services is meant to be seamless. If you're a client, you don't even know it exists. You have your membership card and it works when you go into the center. You get the program.